I'm Jacob from Status Update, and this is my App Drawer app of the week. It's called Eevee, E-V-I. It's available in the Android market and the iPhone App Store. It is essentially a Siri for your Android. It's actually a pretty good interface, and it allows you to ask the application where things are. So if I go up here, you'll look at my old view, it'll say, I asked it, where's the nearest coffee shop? And it told me I found Grand River Coffee and 7 others. And you can ask it certain things like, what's your favorite color? And it says, I love my users, I'm passionate about helping them, but I am also an AI, so beyond that, I don't have desires or make subjective judgments. So it has kind of quippy answers to things like you would see from Siri. It's available for iPhone. I don't see why you would use it unless you were an iOS 4.0 user or earlier. Other than that, just use Siri. It has its quips, it has its little bugs. I'll show you one of the more humorous bugs that Jared and I noticed after the show. If I ask it, how old is Tom Hanks? And you can see it's going to say, okay, how old is Tom Hanks?
Tom Hanks died on February 23rd, 2010. He was 53 years, 7 months and 14 days old when he died.
Now, Tom Hanks is very much so alive. He's not dead, so that's actually incorrect. But I did ask it earlier, how old is Betty White? And it was able to get Betty White's age, saying she was 90 years and 13 days old. So it can do different things like that. It can, it'll ask you, you can ask it questions, it'll answer them. But it's also very good for finding out where the nearest coffee is. And it can actually interpret your speech as normal, like talking. So unlike some of the other applications or the stock Android thing that requires voice commands, I can ask this application, where can I get a coffee? And it sees, where can I get a coffee? And now she's going to look on it. She says, I'm on it. And she'll tell you that she's working on it still. It takes a little while, as you can imagine.
I found Panda House and other places to buy a drink of coffee near your current location.
So it can find you, and you can say you can get coffee at all these different places: Buffalo Wild Wings, Grand River Coffee, Kung Fu. So it's got a bunch of different things in there. Now, obviously, it's not necessarily as quick as Siri because it is operating on servers, and obviously servers that aren't nearly as good as Apple's servers. But let's say I want to go to Grand River Coffee, so I can just click Grand River Coffee. It's going to pop up on here. Here's Grand River Coffee. You can call them, or you can plot it on your map application. Here it is on map. This map is provided by Google, built into the application, so I can see where it's at. I can click the little button here. I can say View Profile for Grand River Coffee. And then the only thing is it doesn't seem to be seamlessly able to get directions for me. So that's kind of the one caveat here. I can't click this and say, okay, well, for my current location, how about you give me directions to where I'm going? So it's got a couple different quirks in it that's still working out, and the settings menu isn't extraordinarily robust, to be honest with you. There's not a whole lot here. One of the things I'd like to see in next editions is you long press the search button down here that's built on all Android phones to activate it, or a widget so you can activate it quickly, because right now there's no really good quick way to activate it. But if you're looking for a pretty solid Siri knockoff for Android, this is a pretty good option. Cannot do calendar stuff though, so that's one thing it's not. And see, it's already force closing me. So there's a couple, obviously some serious kinks to work out with this application. Obviously they think Tom Hanks is dead. There's some direction things, but for right now it's a pretty decent application for you to take on if you'd like a Siri for your Android phone, although it may be liable to crash every once in a while. So that's one little downfall there. But it's called Eevee, E-V-I. It's in the Android market for free, or the Apple App Store for 99 cents.